Дойче Думков, ты еще увидишь, как из-за твоей продажной глупости, Анна-Лена Бербок, Берлин будет гореть.
Надо как-то сделать так, чтобы американские солдаты начали гибнуть.
Да мы сотрем в порошок Варшаву и Вильнюс.
Почему мы признаем Францию в ее границах?
Как я хочу посмотреть, чтобы Урсулиха фон дер Ляля корчилась с куском беспилотника в глотке.
Когда на сегодняшний день мы говорим, что война будет безъядерной, мы, наверное, лукавим.
По количеству на душу населения, правда, Канада ее опережает, но Америка — это мировая держава по дебилу.
Я сейчас требую спалить Берлин.
Welcome to another episode of Russian Hate Speech, where we break down the Kremlin's latest tirades against the West. Let's start with propagandist Spiridon Kilinkarov, who accuses Britain of trying to disrupt the negotiation process.
The globalists are still strong all over the world, and the British will definitely do everything to interrupt or prevent this negotiation process, to the point of carrying out some major terrorist attacks that could stop all these processes aimed at resolving this conflict.
According to Kilinkarov, peace isn't elusive because Russia continues bombing Ukrainian cities, but because the British are supposedly plotting terrorist attacks to prevent negotiations. This classic Kremlin tactic shifts the blame onto Western powers while Russia keeps escalating the war. It's always someone else's fault, never the country that actually launched a full-scale invasion. Next, we have Russian neo-fascist philosopher Alexander Dugin, who continues his favorite theme, declaring that the European Union is controlled by a sinister globalist perverted elite.
And the last stronghold of this liberal dictatorship, this globalist, absolutely criminal, perverted, pedophilic elite is the European Union, the EU countries, especially France and Germany, although Italy is no longer with them, Hungary is definitely not with them, Slovakia is not with them.
Dugin's rant is a greatest hits compilation of Russian propaganda, anti-Western hysteria, homophobia, and the delusion that Russia is leading some moral crusade. His real goal? To deepen division within the EU and convince Russians that their country is the last bastion of purity while the West is drowning in decadence. And finally, we have the Kremlin's chief propagandist Vladimir Solovyov, who openly fantasizes about attacking European cities with Russian Oreshnik missiles.
How many Oreshniks do you need for Paris? I just think we need to get these people to understand what this is all about. I mean, measure the big cities in Oreshniks. If they think we are going to fight with them in the way that we are conducting a special military operation, they're sorely mistaken. There will be a war there, and that's a completely different story.
Solovyov isn't even pretending anymore. He's straight up calling for missile strikes on European capitals. Forget the whole defensive war against NATO lie. This is naked aggression, plain and simple. The Kremlin's favorite propagandists aren't interested in negotiations or peace. They want destruction, escalation, and the total annihilation of Russia's perceived enemies. Thank you for joining us today. Stay tuned for the next episode of Russian Hate Speech, where we continue exposing the Kremlin's war on truth.